My eyes feel pretty good now. I was very uncomfortable this morning. I was terribly uncomfortable yesterday. But now my eyes feel good, not perfect. I still don't feel like this is life-changing or miraculous, but just because my eyes are still adjusting. So I kind of wanted to talk about the process a little bit because people have been inquiring about the experience, saying that they're thinking about it. So I wanted to give a little bit of a rundown of the pre-op experience and whatever else I can think of. So basically, I had gone to see 2 different doctors. I was going to go with the first one, but then once I realized that he uses a bladed procedure, which is the use of microkeratome, which is, I guess, a super small blade to make the cut to lift the flap in the eye, rather than a laser to create that same flap, I opted to go with a different eye doctor, actually the doctor's office that I usually go to for my contacts and glasses. But anyway, so the pre-surgery workup, which is before the day of, it's in my case on a couple days before. I think typically you go longer than that, but I kind of wanted it done sooner rather than later. They do the refraction, which is basically when they put those letters up on the mirror and make you hold the thing to block one of your eyes and ask you what the smallest row of letters you can read is. I find that experience to be very nerve-wracking. I feel nervous, or like I'm failing a test when they ask you what's the lowest line you can read and you're squinting and you can't see it, you feel like you're failing. And then when you switch eyes, they ask you what's the lowest line you can read, and you're ready to memorize the letter because there's only like 5 letters across, so you feel like you're kind of cheating, and I feel guilty, like I have to confess, like, oh, hey, you know, like, I don't know if I can actually see this or if I just memorize the letters. And in the case of LASIK, it's particularly nerve-wracking, at least I found it to be so, because that determines the treatment that you get and how they fix your eyes, so how you will see, right? So, you know, they do the whole thing, what's better, 1 or 2? 2 or 3? And I don't know, I don't know if it's because I'm non-committal or what, but it makes me very tense, and I always have to make them do it like 7 times, and I feel kind of bad about that too, but I say, you know, do it again, do it again, do it again, especially, like I said, in this case where it will impact the treatment you get. I didn't want to pick, you know, 2 when it really should be 1, or 4 when it really should be 3. And sometimes I feel like maybe they're the same and they're just fucking with you to see if you can really tell a difference. And just as it's almost like a mind game to me. You know, they have all these other things, these weird lights and all kinds of strange things that they look at your eye with computer readouts that tell me prescription. Why do you have to ask me to read letters on a mirror in a dark room? It just seems unnecessary. Anyway, enough about refraction for now. We'll get back to it later. Aside from that, like I said, they do some computer readouts. I don't even know half the time what they're doing. They say, oh, you know, just look at this light. This light's just going to flash before your eyes. I don't know if they're going to clear my memory with it, like some Men in Black shit, or what's happening. I don't know half the time. And I ask, but then I guess my interest isn't that deep because I don't remember. They dilate your eyes. You know, that's also irritating because then you walk out and you're kind of, you know, seeing double or whatever. But they got all their readouts. They got everything. They gave me a prescription to go get eye drops for the LASIK procedure, and the eye drops are, I think they're antibacterial or anti-infection eye drops, basically. And they're pretty expensive, even with, you know, insurance. The cost was about $130. So I picked those up. You're supposed to put them in your eyes, I think twice a day, 2 days before. I didn't do that because I picked them up the day of. I guess it was a bad pre-op prepper. And they also gave me some eyelid scrubs, which are basically like makeup pads that you're supposed to clean your eyes with 2 days in advance and then rinse it. I was better about that than the eye drops. I used that for a day and a half, so you know, most of the time I was supposed to use it. And then the day of, I went in and they do refraction one more time, that test that I was talking about where they make you read the letters 1 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. They tell you again, this is going to determine your treatment, so it's just stressful. And then the lady, I guess one of the assistants or whatever you call them in my doctor's office, gave me a bunch of drops and started explaining all these different drops that I had to use. It was a bit overwhelming because I was kind of excited about the surgery. I wasn't really nervous, I was excited, and just wasn't really processing. And she was showing me all these drops and telling me, what I'm going to need to do with them. I'll show you some of them. So one of them was the prescription drops that I was talking about before. That's these, not that you can really read it, but whatever. So those are twice a day. And then there are some other drops. These drops are called, I guess it's backwards in the camera, but anyway, it's called Durezol. And that's 4 times a day for a week. And those are for inflammation, anti-inflammatory. And then tear drops, which basically just keep your eyes moist and you can use them as much as you want. Now, the thing is, she told me about all these drops, but she didn't tell me that they're anti-infection and anti-inflammatory. I took it upon myself to look that up today because I was wondering why I'm putting all these different types of drops in my eyes. And it was too much information, so I asked her, write it down. She said, yeah, it's written down on the sheet. But the thing is that right after surgery, like the day of, you're supposed to put, I forgot, I don't even remember if I was putting which drops, some of the drops in when you wake up. And when I woke up from my nap, because I tell you have to take a nap right after the surgery, I couldn't see. I could kind of see, but I really could barely keep my eyes open. My eyes were extremely agitated, so I couldn't sit there and read instructions about this drop and that drop and all this stuff. Luckily, my mom was taking care of me, so she paid attention to whatever that lady was saying, and she actually put the drops in for me when I woke up one night. So after that drill and the refraction, then I went into the operating room, which, as I mentioned in a prior video, I hadn't seen before. It might have been beneficial for me to see it before, but whatever. So I went on the chair, and the first chair is to go into the first laser where, like I said, the laser creates a bunch of bubbles, and by a bunch, like 500,000 or something bubbles in your eye, so that the doctor can lift the flap up, and then the second laser can beam in and smooth out your cornea. So the most annoying part about that first laser was the speculum or whatever they do to keep your eye open. They also create some sort of suction. It's very uncomfortable, but it's tolerable. You're awake. I should have mentioned also when I first got there before the refraction, before all that nonsense, they gave me 1 Xanax, I guess to take the edge off. I really didn't have an edge, but whatever, I took it. So maybe that helped, maybe not, I don't know. I wasn't really too afraid of the process. So that laser created the bubbles on both eyes, and then I guess it was pretty uncomfortable because as I had mentioned before, I was very tense during that process, and I guess I was scrunching my knuckles. So one of the people in there, and originally I thought there was a lot of people in there, but I asked my mom, she said there was only 4, which just seemed like a lot, I guess, because I was only really expecting maybe the doctor and an assistant or something. But, so one of the people in there put something in my hands to squeeze on, like a stress ball thing. And then the doctor walked me to the next bed, chair, whatever it is, to have the laser, to lift the flap and to have the laser smooth out everything. So the room is dark, and I'm staring up at this thing, and he says, stare at the, I think, green light I was staring at. And then he lifts the flap, and it's really awkward, because when he lifts the flap, you kind of, you pretty much lose, like, all your vision, or it's so blurred that you don't really feel like you can see anything, so it's a strange sensation. And you also see him coming at your eye with the tool, but your eye's numb, so you don't feel it. And then it makes kind of a noise, and it zaps all different colors. There's like a red, and I think there's like a white light. It's It's really strange. Like I said, the best way to describe it is like an alien abduction. There's just a lot of lights. I mean, I don't really understand lasers anyway. Kind of like electricity. I don't really understand it. It's very useful, and I like it, and I appreciate it, but I don't know. So then he puts the flap back, does the other eye, boom, you're done. Except then, and they had told me that when I left that they were going to put some sort of goggles on me. So I was expecting goggles. I didn't know what they ended up putting on me. But what I did know is that as I was walking out, I mean, I really couldn't see. Like, I had to hold my mom's hand to walk to the parking lot, to the car. But I just saw kind of like bubbles or circles, and I was like, oh shit, like, did this guy ruin my eyes? All I see is circles. And I asked my mom, I said, what the heck did he put on my eyes? Like, what am I looking through? Because I didn't know about it. It was a product of the fact that I was looking through something with circles, or because I was seeing circles, or I had no idea what was going on. So what it was actually these weird things. I don't know if you can see it, yeah. Looks kind of like a drain, like something you put on a drain to catch your hair. So put it over my eyes like that, and I was supposed to sleep with them, and they tape it onto your eyes. So it's not really like goggles, it's like, I don't know, a drain cover that they tape to your face. And then on top of that, they put sunglasses because you have light sensitivity. So apparently, after this, you're supposed to go immediately to sleep, okay? Now, my surgery was scheduled for 1:45 p.m. It didn't happen exactly at 1:45 p.m. I think I got out of there some point in around 3 p.m. But neither here nor there. At 3 p.m., it's difficult for me to sleep. So, I mean, my mom said I slept in the car on the way home. It's possible, I don't know. My eyes were really, really bothering me. Got home, I tried to sleep right away. I couldn't sleep right away, but I kept my eyes closed because they were bothering me. And then I guess at some point I fell asleep or kept my eyes open. I don't know what the heck I was doing. But I woke up about 2 hours later. It was about 6 o'clock. And I was tearing from my eyes, from my nose, from my mouth. There was just all kinds of like fluids coming out of my face, and I was hungry. So I got out of bed, and mind you, this whole time all I've taken is the one Xanax that they gave me before the procedure, and from what they described, the eye doctor's office, Xanax, like I said, was just supposed to take the edge off. It's not pain reliever, it's not anti-inflammatory, it's not anything useful. So I'm not really sure why that's the drug of choice. They also gave me one Xanax pill to take home, and they said, take that before you go to bed. When I woke up from my nap, I was pretty miserable. I couldn't see. I called my mom to the bed. She had to walk me to the kitchen. I had to keep my eyes closed. They were extremely bloodshot, completely pink, like just tearing. I could not keep them open. It felt like there was something crammed in my eyes, like there was maybe like 15 eyelashes in there. I hated it. I was hoping that this guy didn't fuck up my vision. I was kind of scared. Because from the description, it was like, oh, you're going to go home, you're going to take a nap. When you first get out of here, your eyes are going to burn, you're not going to feel comfortable, but you're going to take this nap, and it's going to be amazing afterwards. You're going to be fine. You know, might have a little bit of dryness, but it'll be fine. It was not fine. My eyes were very, very uncomfortable. And so I ate, and then I went under the blanket and in the dark, and as long as I kept my eyes closed, I was okay. And I couldn't really sleep very well at night, but I slept enough. Eventually, and it wasn't too far after I ate, I decided that I needed to take Percocet, and I had some because I'd gone to the dentist, luckily, a couple days before and had a wisdom tooth pulled. And the dentist, unlike the eye doctor, is generous with his prescriptions. He had prescribed 24 Percocet. I don't know why I wasn't in that much pain. And I had only taken a couple of them the day of the extraction, so I had Percocet handy. And I took one, and it made me tired and it dulled the pain, so it was much more effective than the stupid Xanax and nothing that the eye doctor gave me. Then I woke up in the morning. The eye doctor appointment was at 10 of 8. So it's pretty early, so I woke up around, I don't know, 6:15 or 6:30, and my eyes were still bothering me. I was really excited about waking up. I thought that it was going to be this amazing moment where I opened my eyes and I could see the world crystal clear, and I was going to sing a song or something, even though I can't really sing, so I probably wouldn't have sung a song, but I would have felt like I would have wanted to sing a song and maybe even sung it in a terrible voice. I don't know. So I didn't feel that way. I felt like I said, like there was something in my eyes. I felt like as though I had slept with contacts in, and they were just really dry, and I was not happy. My vision wasn't quite focused, and maybe that was because of the dryness. And obviously you can't touch your eyes, so that was something that I couldn't do to relieve the irritation. So I went to the eye doctor. I still wasn't quite comfortable with seeing at that point. It was about 2 hours after I woke up, and the good part is that I didn't have sensitivity to light. I took the sunglasses with me, and he had warned me that my eyes might be sensitive to light. I had zero sensitivity to light. It was really, really bright this morning. Didn't bother me in the least bit. And he told me he was going to give me clearance to drive when I went in the morning. He didn't mention it, but to be honest, I didn't really feel comfortable driving at that point because my vision wasn't quite as crisp as I would want it to be able to drive, and I didn't know how my eyes would react, so I didn't want to drive. So I worked from home. Finally, I would say around 10 in the morning, so about 4 hours after I woke up, and not quite 24 hours after the surgery, but like I said, the surgery probably ended at 3 p.m. the day before. My eyes started to feel better. I was using the lubricating drops a lot, but I wasn't really in pain or discomfort. My vision wasn't perfect still. I shouldn't say it wasn't perfect. I mean, it probably was whatever it's going to be, but you just go in and out of focus a little bit, and it's hazy at times. But I was on the computer all day doing work, and my eyes were fine. Certain points, I started the coolness, I guess you could call it, of the procedure started to set in because I looked around and I could see without having contacts or glasses in. But because your eyes are still kind of uncomfortable, it's not as great because, you know, your eyes would have been uncomfortable anyway with the contacts or glasses, and they felt uncomfortable still, so it just wasn't that much of a marvel yet. But it's getting better. It's like, I don't know what time it is now, maybe 7 or 8 p.m. And my eyes are pretty good. They feel like they have kind of like a crust around them a little bit, or crap around them, because all day I'm just putting drops in them. You can't really wash or like scrub around your eyes because you don't want to touch them, but you're not supposed to touch them so you don't damage the cornea, and you don't, I don't know, do whatever other damage you could possibly do to them. I guess that's pretty much it. So that's it. I mean, I guess I am impressed with the recovery time, especially given how I felt yesterday after my nap, and compared to today. After that nap, like I said, my eyes were not happy. And I had mentioned this earlier too, but when I told the eye doctor that this morning, he said, oh, well, you know, you were supposed to take a nap for 5 or 6 hours. I don't know who can do that. That's a super long nap. That's not really a nap. That's actual sleep, and a lot of it. And you know, at 3 p.m. to go to sleep for 6 hours, and then what? And then I was gonna wake up for like an hour and then sleep again at night. It wasn't gonna happen. So if that's what he wanted to happen, really the solution was either to perform the operation at 10 p.m. or give me a horse tranquilizer, because otherwise the best I could do was, you know, the hour and a half, 2 hour mark that I hit. Anyway, so I think I'm good. Hopefully tomorrow morning I'll wake up and feel that amazingness that everybody talks about after LASIK. All right, that's it.